So market has regained the losses that we saw to a certain extent yesterday. View is that this is going to be the order of the day, especially now that we are into the earnings season of first quarter this financial year. We saw TCS numbers, we saw Wipro numbers, we'll see Infosys today, later on in the day, and so on and so forth. I think we will slowly pick up speed on the earnings season. I guess short to medium term direction will be uh, naturally be given out by the earnings, and markets will go through bouts of optimism and pessimism as the news unfolds. There are some positive news on the development of a vaccine, but remains to be seen how the progress is there. And my guess is that the levels that I spoke about earlier, I think the new normal on the market is going to be 10,300, 500 on the lower side. I'm talking about Nifty spot. And as we go higher, 10,800 to 11,000, 11,200 cannot be ruled out depending upon two things, global and local news flows and how the earnings pan out. Now, what I am given to understand is that maybe large part of the market has already discounted to a certain extent the disappointment in first quarter earnings, given the fact that we were in total lockdown in the months of April, May, and June. And from June second half onward, we started opening up slowly and steadily. But now the new fear is the fresh round of lockdown, given that in certain states the numbers have gone up. So one will have to deal with this optimism, pessimism, good news, bad news, and the market is going to react accordingly. As we go towards the higher levels that I have just mentioned, from a short to medium term, I think it is prudent to take money off the table. Today we have a big announcement at 2 o'clock, the 43rd AGM of Reliance Industries. So I think stocks like Reliance, stocks like private sector banks, certain stronger MDFCs, specialty chemicals, pharma sector, oil and gas, especially the gas sector looks quite promising. So my view is that life insurance related companies, all these are likely to report better numbers. And today, I think all of us will be eagerly awaiting what the Honorable Chairman of Reliance Industries has to say, Mr. Mukesh Ambani. At 2 o'clock, I think the 43rd AGM will start. So my view is that, first of all, a detailed roadmap of business prospects for the future on Geo front. Secondly, the progress on Aramco, what is the situation, retail foray, and the promise that Mr. Mukesh Ambani made that he is going to make Reliance Industries debt-free within 18 months. And I think he has achieved this great target well before the time frame has lapsed. So I think there is going to be renewed energy in terms of what the news flow is as far as the 43rd AGM of Reliance Industries is concerned. As a disclosure, we have maintained a buy call on Reliance for a very long time. Amongst the pharma, I think names like Biocon, Alembic, Cipla, Zydus Wellness should be in the limelight given the progress that they are making on the growth front. And overall, I think the earning, as I mentioned, has been discounted. It still remains to be seen how good, bad, ugly the numbers are for the first quarter, depending upon sector and, of course, stock specific. So overall, view remains positive. And what we saw yesterday, I think more than 50-60% we have recovered today. And this is how it is going to be. It's going to be very choppy. You will have cuts on one day, you will have sharp recoveries. And the best part that I have noticed since I spoke to you all since last week, and whatever dips or corrections we have seen on the lower side during this 1 week time, all of them have got bought into. Only thing I'm little bit concerned or worried about is the growing number of retail participation. And I only hope there is no overcrowding in a particular stock or sector. If that happens, then I think one needs to be a little bit more careful. So buy on dips and closer to the levels that I have suggested on the ad side, one can definitely look at booking profits. But this market has definitely shown some inherent strength, whether it is liquidity driven, fundamentally driven, or whether it is driven by the participation of retail investors, that remains to be seen. And as we go higher, I think it is prudent to take money off the table. Rupee could possibly be trading in the range of 25 paise plus minus against the dollar. So trade with optimism, but again at higher level. Be a little bit careful, cautious, and try to take money off the table.